something of an honor. This is kind of a big deal to have this done here. And these beautiful trees are going to grow to be about 15 feet and become a focal point here in the middle of our complex. I'm personally looking forward to that. I'm also personally looking forward to the stuff we're going to do in the garden as well. And I'm looking forward to working more closely with folks from the garden clubs and the master gardeners as well.
Arbor Day is kind of a sign of spring, right? And it's also a symbol of rebirth. And so as we gather here at the Warrior Transition Battalion, I think it's useful or helpful to kind of put it in this perspective. Our wounded warriors kind of come here for a rebirth of sorts as well, right? And so this thing we call the Tranquility Garden is and increasingly is going to be a part of that rebirth. We don't have to spend a whole lot of time around Fort Bragg to recognize how important trees are to our environment here. The longleaf pine and wiregrass ecosystem that we've been working to regenerate here, predates the impact of man. And beyond that, in many ways, it's also beneficial to the training that we do here at Fort Bragg. Whereas, in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees. Whereas, the holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas, Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas, trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, lower our heating and cooling costs, moderate temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide a habitat for wildlife. Whereas trees are a renewable resource, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. Whereas trees in our communities increase property values, enhance economic vitality, and beautify our environment. Whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now, therefore, I, Colonel Jeffrey M. Sanborn, Garrison Commander of Fort Bragg, do hereby proclaim March 15, 2013 as Arbor Day at Fort Bragg. And I urge all to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. And further, I urge all citizens to plant and care for trees, to gladden the heart, and promote the well-being of this and future generations.
On behalf of the National Arbor Day Foundation and the North Carolina Forest Service, I am proud to present Fort Bragg with their 8th Tree City USA Award.
Another connection that I see happening out here in this Tranquility Garden is between all of us. Since we began this project back in August, almost 50 different people have been out here volunteering their time as a part of this effort. And so for that, I want to say thank you to those of you guys who've been a part of that. The connection that we make with each other is what makes this a better place. It makes our garden better for it. It's not overrun by crabgrass and Bermuda grass because you guys put your heavy back labor into it all fall long. But the connections that we built between each other have enhanced this place for us, and we'll look back on that, I think, years from now and remember it. The other connection that I see, and finally before we go, is the connection with our community. The connection that we have with Fort Bragg, from Garrison, Sustainable Fort Bragg, the Forestry Service, Fayetteville, the Garden Clubs, and the biggest group of people you've heard people talk about all week long are those master gardeners. It's that connection with our community, again, that enhances this place.